Rise. Judge Vanda B. Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1030, Armstrong case.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mrs. Armstrong.
Yes, Ms. Judge.
Okay, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Miss Tally over here, we decided to have a baby together about 3 years ago. And we got a divorce. And now I just need her to pay some child support.
Okay. Well, you guys are going through a divorce, right?
Well, yeah, sorry, we're going through a divorce. I wish it was over already. But I have been paying health care for a long time, ever since the baby was born.
How much is the health care?
It's $111 a month.
Okay.
This baby is 2 years old. We've been together for about 3 years, and I just, that's a lot of money.
Okay, and you want her to pay child support?
And I need that money.
Okay, she needs that money. You don't want to pay that money?
No, ma'am. Instead, I want to spend time with this child. She's not allowing me to see my son, Alex.
Hold on tight because this courtroom drama is about to explode. We're diving into a fiery legal battle over child support, custody, and, get this, denied parental access. Mrs. Armstrong is demanding financial support, but Miss Tally fires back, claiming she hasn't seen her own child in over a year. And just when you think it can't get any crazier, the judge steps in, and they are not playing around. Buckle up, because this case takes a shocking turn. And the ending? You won't see it coming.
Last year and a half.
Okay.
I mean, I have an amazing 2-year-old son that I'm being denied access to see. And I do not believe that I should be paying child support. Rather than I should be able to spend time with my son and actively be in his life.
Okay. Is there a reason you have not been allowing her to see Alex?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, Judge, I feel like time is not money. And,
Well, stop. Hold on. It's not money. But you would agree with me that she is the mother, right?
Yes.
Okay. And would you want for her to deny you access to Alex?
Well, it would be
different.
different.
It's a yes or no?
No.
Okay, then. So, you do not have a reason to not allow her to see her son.
But she doesn't help me take care of my son.
Now, financially, we'll get to that in a moment. She's not going to have a choice if the child is living with you primarily. Is that what's
Correct.
going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how often do you allow her to see him at all?
No.
Okay, now that's going to change today. You do not have any authority to do that. You do not have it both ways. You can't say, I want her to pay this money, but at the same time, I don't want her to.
Wait a second. Did you catch that? Miss Tally says she hasn't seen her son in over a year and a half. That's a massive red flag in family court. Legally, child support and custody are two completely separate issues. You can't just block a parent from seeing their child because they aren't paying support. And the judge? They're already picking up on something fishy. Then comes interview 3. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Once she starts paying, then she can see our son. Nope, that's not how parenting works. Visitation rights aren't something you buy like a Netflix subscription. The judge shut that argument down immediately, and for good reason. In family law, the child's best interest is what matters most, and that means both parents should be part of their child's life. No paywall required.
It doesn't work like that.
Well, once she starts paying me some money, then she can also start seeing the son.
Well, they don't go together.
Okay.
But the possession to a child has nothing to do with paying child support. You do not decide that. You understand? Okay, because in a different court, you could actually be held in contempt for that if you all had a court order and you were denying her access to your son. You understand that, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Now, as for you, you'll be able to see your son, but you do understand that you have to pay child support as well.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you do not have any objection to paying child support. Okay, so you heard that, right? Okay, all right. So it seems like money is what's important to you, not necessarily her having a relationship with the child. That's right?
Yes.
And that's sad. And it's very sad that you admitted it. Okay, so you turned in some tax returns up here. I have your gross at $6,000 a year. And how many children? It's just Alex,
It's
right?
just one. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other children outside of Alex?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So that brings your net down to $4,789.79 for one.
Now let's talk numbers. Miss Tally's child support was calculated based on her income, landing at $1,069 per month, including healthcare reimbursement. Does she like it? Not one bit. But does she have a choice? Absolutely not. Family law isn't about feelings. It's about fairness. And given that she's been completely cut off from her child, this ruling isn't just about money. It's the beginning of a serious reality check.
Then you do have to reimburse her health insurance because she's
Absolutely.
been paying it. You're okay with that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you don't really have a choice, so, okay. Plus the 111 comes out to $1,069 a month.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about
No,
that?
ma'am, it's Judge.
Okay. Why do you have this smirk on your face?
Oh, I like those numbers. Judge Rhonda. Judge Rhonda.
Sad. She's not going to have to come back in here and say, you know, she's not letting me see my child or anything like that, is she?
So when she sees the child,
That
do I
mean-
have
that's
to
a
be
no.
around?
That's a no, because you're not gonna do that, right? You're gonna let her see the child.
Do I
Yeah.
have to be around her when she comes? She has to come pick the child up, like for a weekend.
Yeah, however she picks him up. I mean, you guys have a child, so you should be able to be cordial with each other to some extent. You don't have to necessarily like each other, but
It has
you
to
do
be
need
able
to
to
let her
benefit the
see.
child.
Huh?
It has to be able to benefit the child. I mean, you have to look at Alex's best interest in his life. He needs both of his moms in his life. You can't just deny.
Oh, now this is rich. Mrs. Armstrong actually asked, "What's the minimum amount of time I have to let her see our son?" As if co-parenting is some kind of business negotiation, the judge wasn't having any of it. She made it crystal clear. Don't you always get to hold a child hostage over money? And that smug little smirk on Mrs. Armstrong's face? Yeah, that might just cost her in big time if she doesn't start respecting the law and putting the child's best interest first.
What's the
I agree with
least
that.
of amount of time that I can let her spend with my child?
You know what? We're not gonna go there. You're gonna let her see him, and that's the end of it. You have your money, right?
Yes.
Okay then. So do you have any other questions? All right. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
And just like that, justice is served. The judge shut down every weak argument, ruled on child support, and most importantly, ensured Miss Tally will finally get to see her son. This case is a textbook example of why the court separates child support from parental access. Because at the end of the day, it's not about personal grudges. It's about what's best for the child. So what do you think? Was this ruling fair? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love diving into real courtroom drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more cases coming your way.